Hello, I'm Soul Dr. Nick, and this is the first video for Bitcoin Breath. At this point in time, December 31st, 2025, there are 0 followers on Instagram. And so it's the perfect time to release a video, soon to release a live here at sunrise on Big Island, and explain a little bit about Bitcoin Breath. Why are we doing this? What's the purpose behind this? And as I said, I'm Soul Dr. Nick, former medical doctor turned soul doctor. I founded Ohana Breath, Ohana Sage, looking into spirituality, looking into consciousness, looking into breaking the death urge, looking into experiential processes that help people rediscover themselves, their own radical selfishness. And through the breath, help people travel through space and time. And this past year, my beloved asked me, what is the investment that I most see? Because I saw so many things before they happened. And when I actually contemplated it, I realized it was Bitcoin. I was like, oh my God. And the funny thing is, when I first started into Bitcoin, even looking into it, I didn't even know what it really was. I had an idea. But the more I learned, the more I unlearned what I used to think about money, about financial markets, about investments, about storing value into time, traveling through space and time. And as I contemplated it all, I realized I wanted a place where people could both learn the details. I was going to say facts, but what are facts really? I'm not the most factual person in terms of knowing all the stuff, but I can point and plant seeds of clues as to where to go. And as you learn more, it helps to understand why we would even want to do this, why we're creating this crazy technology, which seems like it is nothing and a waste of energy is what I thought at first, and actually is the most brilliant thing we can do to store time and value. And then as learning about it is also learning, how do I actually dip my toes into this? How do I step into this? How do I continue stepping into this? Because as I learn more, I realize there's more to learn. There's more to learn in the depths of it. There's so much depth in exchanges, in ETFs, in stocks, in self-custody, in security, and all this other stuff. And so continue to learn about that part as well. And learning about this crazy change in the world. But amongst all this is, how do you be with your own emotions? Because for many of us, including myself, it's stepping outside of the pattern, the paradigm of normal, the paradigm of acceptable, the paradigm of people like saying, hey, is this just a speculation? Are you gambling? All this stuff. The paradigm of people going, oh, you are just being lazy. And seeing that all of this discovering, rediscovering, remembering of things that are outside the norm takes time and energy, and will draw upon the emotions, the feelings, the past lives, all those things. And that's the point of bringing together Bitcoin and breath. Because only if we really experience it can we see that this is not in absence of spirituality. This is redefined when it comes together with spirituality, what this can actually mean, not just for yourself, but for the generations to come. And so I'm going to bring together and weave together stories about Bitcoin, stories about money, stories about investing, stories about transactions, along with an experiential process of breath, so that you know that every time you come through, even if it feels confusing, even if it's a repetition, there's this experience of breath that helps to integrate things, because the breath is integrative. And we really want to integrate the learnings. Otherwise, they're just learnings. There's so many things I learned this past year. But what have I truly believed in is what the things that I'm actually doing every day. One of the things right now is I'm here at sunrise at Maku'u Point on Big Island. And a year ago, that would have been unfathomable. Flying away during the Christmas season, chasing the sunshine. Why am I even doing it? Why am I spending money? Why is it even valuable? Now I realize it's the most valuable thing I could have guided my family towards. And I'll be explaining some of that even on the Bitcoin Breath. It's not just about money and Bitcoin, but Bitcoin ties to health. It ties to wealth, it ties to family, it ties to freedom. All of these concepts. So I want to plant these seeds at the beginning where there's no one watching. And hopefully someday, the only reason people are watching is because I've learned how to deliver the value, how to connect with, how to make this something that really serves. Because if we can keep serving each other and creating more value, the world is going to be amazing. If I keep looking at how do I extract value, the world is going to be a pretty cold, heartless, dead place. Lots of love. Soul Dr. Nick. Ciao for now.